This is my attempt at a background. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mr. L, and today is a very special video because today I am going to be interviewing the one, the only Chewy Mew Reviews. So welcome to the channel, Chewy Mew.
Guys, I'm Chewy Mew, and it's cool to be here. I've never done a collaboration before, so I'm kind of nervous. I don't really know what to say. Hopefully I don't sound like a dingus though, but yeah, thanks for having me here. Yeah.
All right. My first question to you is, as a Spider-Man fan, what were your thoughts on Spider-Man No Way Home?
So that's a pretty tricky question, which I feel like I could talk about this movie for like 6 or 7 hours straight and not get bored of it. But I'm gonna just try to like sum it up quickly here. And I thought the movie was pretty good. You see a lot of people that dislike the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, like me. How they're like, oh, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, and to me, I still don't like Far From Home and Far From Home and Homecoming. I still don't like those two movies. I still think they're whatever. I don't think they're like garbage, but I just am like, if I didn't, I would be okay if I never watched them again. So as far as this one, I think I really hope that they keep going on with the same sort of melancholy yet hopeful view of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. The way it ends with him being a seemingly broke nobody, because he's a nobody. No one even knows that he exists anymore. Which I think that's really cool. I think that's really cool. But I can't help but feel like the MCU is going to kind of try like screwing it up somehow in a sequel. You know how in like Far From Home, one of the opening scenes is them making fun of the snap where everybody died, which I feel like, I mean, come on, because that movie was like a full-blown comedy, which it didn't feel, I don't know, I'm kind of nitpicking here, but I feel like they're going to, like, Marvel's going to somehow mess this up to make it, funny again, which I really hope this movie's much more serious, the fourth one. But either way, as far as that, talking about other stuff, the good stuff, I thought Green Goblin was just as horrendous, in a good way, as he was in Spider-Man 1. He was horrible in the best way, and Dr. Octopus was good. I feel like everyone was really good. Electro was a complete different character. He was still played by Jamie Foxx, but he was a completely different. It wasn't even the same character at all. He was just someone completely different, which I think that was pretty cool. I really wish I don't remember his name, but the guy that played the Lizard and Thomas Hayden Church, I really wish the actors could have been there in real life. Because they were CGI, because spoilers, the actors weren't there, so they just phoned it in. But other than that, the one thing that really, probably everyone thought when Tobey and Andrew showed up, they were like, oh, this is insane, they're back, this is so crazy. And me, I was thinking, that's so crazy, that's so cool that they're back, it's just like Power Rangers. If you haven't watched Power Rangers before, if you haven't watched certain kinds, what they used to do in the older Power Rangers shows, there was one episode that sometimes they would bring Power Rangers from previous seasons into the show. So it'd be like, I remember one example was in Power Rangers SPD, they brought back the Rangers from Dino Thunder, which was the previous season. And I was like, oh, that's so crazy. They're here. They're all working together now. There was like 10 Power Rangers all working together. It was crazy. It was so cool. And this specific scene here, or this part where Tobey and Andrew showed up, I mean, in the Power Rangers stuff, they're just kind of there in the same universe, because it's like the same universe or whatever. But like in one episode of Power Rangers Wild Force, in that one episode, all of the Red Rangers from every previous show, there's like, I think 15 Red Rangers now, all working together defeating a bad guy. And it's like, this is so cool. It's so crazy. Yeah, it was just so crazy. And so that's how it felt like in No Way Home. I was like, hey, it's like what they used to do in Power Rangers, where they bring like everybody back. So to me, it made me think of Power Rangers first. But of course, all of the like the memes and references to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, whatever. But other than that, it was I love the movie. I thought it was really good. I liked that Tobey and Andrew were actual. I liked that they were actual characters in that movie, instead of just being like, oh, my back, pizza time, and then that was it, and they just like a 10-second cameo. They were actually full-blown characters in the movie, and I thought it was so how one thing that kind of bugged me is, how how Andrew and Toby kept telling Tom Holland that, hey, you can't kill Green Goblin, you can't let revenge get the worst of you, because stuff is just don't have revenge because it's horrible and stuff like that and blah blah blah. But then at the end of the movie, Tom Holland picks up Green Goblin's glider, and he's about to just like stab him with it. And so that means he was okay with killing Green Goblin the whole time. Like, the only reason he was stopped from killing him is because Toby stopped him. So that's one thing I didn't like, that it's like he didn't learn anything. He still wanted to kill Green Goblin at the end of the movie. So he didn't really learn the lesson that, oh, hey, don't get revenge on people. So I kind of didn't like that. But overall, I thought the movie was great, So I'll ask you the same question. What did you think about Spider-Man No Way Home?
I thought it was really good. Like, I mean, there were some flaws to it, and then like the flaws that you pointed out. But overall, it was just a really good time for me. I enjoyed myself. It was a bad time, but a good time. You know what I mean? But yeah, like with Otto Octavius, I get very emotional about my past, or my childhood, I mean. So when Otto Octavius was talking to Tobey Maguire's Peter, and he just said, "Look at you, you're all grown up now." I kind of got misty-eyed because I almost cried because, yeah, like I said, I'm very emotional about my childhood, and I saw Spider-Man 2 when I was about 2, and now me being almost 20 is just, yeah, it just really hit close to home. All right, so my next question for you is, what is your holy grail Marvel legend? It can be Spider-Man related or not Spider-Man related.
I had to move some stuff because these stupid comic books here keep falling over and knocking everything down. And my Grail figure is this guy, the Snapshot Spider-Man, the Toy Biz Spider-Man Classics Snapshot Spider-Man. So he's not Marvel Legends, because honestly, I don't really have many Marvel Legends figures, because most Toy Biz Spider-Man figures were not classified as Marvel Legends, but you know what I mean. It's close enough. It's close enough. But yeah, so this is a Grail figure because this was always, ever since I saw this as a kid, maybe like 2005, which by the way, this is 2004 when it came out, but I saw it then, and by the time I even discovered this existed, it was way too late to buy it in stores anyway. So, I was never able to get it, and then, it wasn't until recently, like recently as in 2 years ago, when I started getting back into collecting Spider-Man figures, or just even, displaying them, because all the figures you see here on the shelf, there was a time when the only thing left here was, like, maybe this guy and a couple other of my favorites, like that Green Goblin, Sinister Six, the Venom there, Spin Kick Spider-Man. A couple of these were here. Most of the shelves were empty. And actually, this shelf here is new. And when I got back in, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try getting this guy. And I was like, I'm going to try getting this one. And eventually I decided, because this one, the part that makes this figure hard to get is how crazy expensive it is. And I decided, just bite the bullet and buy this figure for a huge amount of money. So other than this one being a Grail, another one that I have that kind of is as well is the Fearsome Foes Spider-Man. So, I mean, this is kind of good because I'm completing my Grail figures. But this one is a Grail just because it, just like this one, I discovered this guy in 2006. So the way I figured out about this guy was one time my mom and I, we went to Walmart, and it was like around kind of the Christmas, or not the Christmas season, it was like around the holiday season, maybe like November-ish. And I saw this guy in the package, the Fearsome Foes box set, and I was like, Mom, can you buy this for me for my birthday or whatever? She was like, yeah, sure. And then by the time it was my birthday, these were all sold out. So Mom's like, hey, I could never find it in stores for you, so I wasn't able to buy it. And I was like, oh, that sucks. I managed to get the other figures eventually, but this one was one that it kept evading me forever. I would see it on eBay really expensive, and like this guy, and this guy would be used. Like, at least he was brand new, so it's kind of justified, but I managed to finally get this guy in a mystery box. Fortunately, he's missing 2 of his fingers, which kind of sucks. And I do have another one of them. He kind of has the custom Humberto Ramos head and hands. I still need to fix this one, but that way, because I have 2 of them, I can have like a different look for both, so I don't just have the same dude sitting on the shelf. But yeah, so that's always been a Grail figure here. And another one is also this Rhino here, the Fearsome Foes Rhino and Man Spider. Those are also Grail figures as well. Okay, my next question for you is, the flash is on. My next question for you is, how did you get into collecting Marvel Legends or Spider-Man figures, or, in general? I just call these Marvel Legends even though they're not actually Marvel Legends, but yeah, how did you get into collecting them?
Yeah, back in 2016, my parents got me the Civil War 3-pack with Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. And I didn't really collect after that. I just had those three. Like it was just those three. And it wasn't until like mid-August of 2017 that's when I got really sick and all I would watch is Jessica Jones. So my dad, to cheer me up, got me this. Got me the Marvel Legends Jessica Jones from the series. Hope you can see that properly. And yeah, after this, I just really started collecting. So yeah, so thank my dad for all of this basically.